You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Q&E Podcast. You're with your boy Q Hicks right now. I got Edgar right beside me. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. We got big numbers, big hype. Let's get into it.
Yes, man. If this is your first time listening to the Q&E Podcast, we are primarily sports podcast, but we also dive into entertainment, current events. If you haven't checked out our last dance podcast, definitely check those out. We already reviewed those. And we got a 30 for 30 favorite 30 for 30s in sports movies coming out later this week, man. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But let's dive into this breaking news, man. Patrick Mahomes getting that 10-year, $500 million.
Big numbers.
Baseball
Big
money.
Numbers.
Baseball money from Patrick Mahomes, man. The Kansas City Chiefs just giving it out to a well-deserved Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champ, and an MVP. Egg, how do you feel? First reaction to the deal.
First reaction to the deal, I'm like, this is a baseball contract. This ain't football. Like, this is just showing the future inflation of the NFL. The NFL, I believe, will soon no longer be the least paid sport in North America. When it comes to North American sports, I believe within the next 10 years, football will no longer be the least paid sport. Because this contract that we just seen with Patrick Mahomes, like, I've never seen an NBA player touch this type of money. Like, even Mike Trout deal wasn't this big. And we all know the type of deal Mike Trout got. I think it was $430-something million. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, like, this is really, like, this is showing the future. Like, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, these quarterbacks could be getting money like this in the next 5 to 6 years. But
we know what happens, bro. You gotta take away from Peter to pay Paul. So is it just gonna be the quarterbacks getting all the money while everybody else still getting they're getting taken away from because the quarterbacks are getting paid so much?
I think everybody's gonna get a certain level of inflation. The quarterback obviously will probably have the highest inflation with these new contracts that are gonna come out over the next 5 to 10 years. But I think we'll see the left tackles, their deals will start to get bigger. Certain wide receivers, their deals will be getting bigger.
But somebody's deal got to go down.
So somebody's deal will probably go down.
The running backs probably.
Probably.
Somebody got to go down.
I don't think it'll go down, but it won't inflate as much. Everybody's going to inflate. Everybody, base pays are going to inflate. Everything is going to inflate. It's just who's going to inflate the most. Yeah. I feel like that's what it's going to be.
I think everybody's going to stay the same for the most part, except for the quarterback. The quarterback is always going to go up, and everybody else, for the most part, stays the same or goes down. We see that the running back really fluctuates from time to time, just depending on your talent level. You know, the average, I want to say, for running backs right now is like $8 million. It used to be like $4 million. So it has gotten inflated since I want to say mid-2000s. So it has gone up. Yeah. But we just see the quarterback going up so astronomically, bro. Like $30 million was a lot for a quarterback last season.
Right.
And now you shooting it up to 50 in one offseason. 50 is the highest paid quarterback now. It's just like, that's a lot that's coming out of the salary cap to be paid to a quarterback. We just did the math for it. That is 26% of the salary cap going to Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs.
Over a quarter of the cap is going to the quarterback.
Like I said, he deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
He deserves it now.
You know what I'm saying? He got him to the Super Bowl. He's the reason they're there. Because what he had, like 10 or 3 comebacks of 10-plus points this past postseason.
He came back on the Texans. They were down like 28-0 almost.
Yeah.
Like damn near 4 touchdowns down, and he came back in the third quarter, majority of the third quarter, and then he got like 1 more touchdown in the fourth.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, and then he had like 2 comebacks before that happened too.
And they had one in the Super Bowl.
Right.
And they was
down by like
10. Well, 5 minutes left.
10 or 17 or something.
Yeah, bro. It's like he definitely deserves. He's the best quarterback in the league, hands down.
Yeah.
We all know and respect, but $50 million. That's crazy money, dog. I can't even lie.
But I think it's also because 50-plus touchdowns in a single season, like we're really starting to see the future of how quarterbacks are going to be playing. We've already been seeing it, but now.
But have we, though?
What do you mean?
Is that the future, though? Because we're seeing that the black quarterback is coming into effect now, and we've got to see the legs now.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
We're going to see the legs regardless.
But are we going to see the 50 touchdowns and the legs?
No, I don't feel like we're going to see that with every quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a rare breed that can give you 50-plus touchdowns and be the rusher that he is. Is he a Lamar Jackson rusher? No. But he can give you at least 50% Lamar Jackson rushing and 100% passing Patrick Mahomes.
And the thing is, it's better with Patrick Mahomes because you have to respect his throwing ability way more than a Lamar Jackson because you're so scared of the deep ball with a Tyreek Hill and with a Sammy Watkins and with Travis Kelce that you forget that he can run the ball. He can probably run a 4.7 or something like that. So he's deceptively quick, but he's still getting first down. He's moving the chains, and you worried about the deep ball, and he's running right behind you, sneaking up, getting 20 yards. We've seen it in the Super Bowl. We've seen it in these playoff games. It's like he was getting rushing yards, getting rushing touchdowns. So It's crazy, man. But this is not the first time we have seen a 10-year contract, because earlier today, when I seen 10 years, it blew my mind because in the early 2000s, I really wasn't keeping up with contracts like that. So I didn't know
anything.
Especially
like 2002,
yeah.
2000. We was jit.
Yeah, we was jit. So I really wasn't keeping up with contracts. Right. But it has been other contracts. Donovan McNabb in 2002 got a 12-year contract with the Eagles. Brett Favre got a quote-unquote lifetime contract. It was really 10 years in 2001. Yeah. Drew Bledsoe got a 10-year contract with the Patriots in 2001 before his spot was taken by Brady.
It was the same time that Brady took his spot. So I'm like, damn, you got a 10-year contract, and then this guy just walks in like into the draft. Super skinny, super tall, looked uncoordinated. Nah, give him the starting job. Yeah. Even though we just gave this man this contract.
And think about Bledsoe's mindset, bro. You just got paid a 10-year contract, probably worth upwards of $20 million at that time. And you get a 6th-round draft pick, you ain't even thinking about him. Because you just think your spot is so secure because you got a 10-year. You get hurt one game, and then in the blink of an eye, life comes at you so fast, bro. And it's like you think you're so secure with your space, and it's just
that's the only thing I worry about with Patrick Mahomes. It's like, damn, like the thought of injury has to come into your mind. Like you get injured, and then this 10-year contract can go left really quick. So knock on wood that he doesn't, but you just always have to think about that possibility. Yeah, and he has
$147 million, if I read correctly, guaranteed. So if he gets injured, he has 147 like securely in the bank. So that's still crazy.
So basically, a third of that is guaranteed.
Bro, guaranteed, bro. But like I said before, you gotta take away from Peter to pay Paul before, because the salary hasn't jumped just yet. So somebody like a Chris Jones, who is currently sitting out right now, holding out for a long-term contract with the Chiefs, is somebody who could get the heave-ho because of this deal right now, bro. Yeah. So do you expect him to be back with the Chiefs in next season or after next season?
I mean, I hope so, just because of the fact that their defense is already not that strong. We know Kansas City's defense has never been strong like that to compete against other teams. It's just the fact that they're like the Warriors of football. If you get in the shootout with them, you're going to lose. But if there's a way you can you can stop them offensively and prevent if you can present a strong defensive threat to them, you can win the game. But if you get to a point where you're going for touchdown with this team, you're not going to win. You're not going to keep up.
I seen it, though. It's funny because I just watched this game on YouTube the other day. It was the Rams and the Chiefs, and that game was like in the high 50s. That was the only team that I've seen. The Rams was the only team, but that was like a high-power Rams team. Right. Gurley was on it. Cooks was on it. Woods.
It's not the Rams team now.
Yeah, it's not even the Rams team anymore. So the Chiefs are still together, man. So it's going to be a crazy team to look forward to. I don't think Chris Jones will be back because the money that he wants is around $20 million, so I don't see him getting that. But he is the second-rated D tackle in the league right now behind Aaron Donald. So he's definitely worth all the money, but it's just like you can't pay everybody at this point, bro. You're paying Tyrann Matthew 16. Tyreek Hill.
Travis Kelce.
He want an extension. He want more money.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And Travis Kelce deserves more money.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He in conversation. Him and George Kittle, the top two names when you think of tight ends in the football league right now.
And they're going to reset their tight end market. They're probably going to get 18, 17 mil. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody is going up right now. Like I said, man, some positions are going up. And tight end and quarterback are becoming so prevalent in the league today, man, that you got to just keep raising the price on them. But who is next, man? Who do you foresee to be the next quarterback to get? I don't think everybody's going to get to 50 mil like Patty.
Probably not.
Yeah, everybody ain't going to get to 50 like Patty, but who do you see to be up there in the upwards of 40s? Mid-40s at least.
Damn.
Can you see the Deshaun? Can you see the Texans pulling the trigger on the Deshaun?
I can see Deshaun doing it, but I feel like it's going to depend, and it's not fair because he doesn't really have offensive weapons right now, but it's going to depend on how well the team does as a whole. It's going to depend on how many playoff appearances you get over the next few years now. It's going to depend on how many years left in his contract.
Now, he could get paid next year.
He can get paid
Deshaun
next year.
can get paid next year, yeah.
He's not gonna get anything close to this. But the contract after that, like after that next contract that he's going to get, it's going to depend on how many playoff appearances he has over the next 3 to 4 years. It's going to depend on his touchdowns that he gets. Like, it's so many things that go into play. It's like Patrick Mahomes' numbers are now going to be the gold standard of how they judge.
I don't think they're going to be the goal. They're going to be the goal to get that 550.
Well, yeah, 50
a year.
Yeah. But when I say that, I just mean, like, it's going to be the qualifications damn near. Like, where do you, like, out of the resume that we have of golden resumes, like, where does yours go rank into that? Yeah. How does yours rank against that so we can decide if we should pay you anything close to that?
Exactly, because everybody's not going to have the same stats as Mahomes or anything similar to Mahomes. Right. They don't have the weapons like Mahomes, and they also don't have the style of play like Mahomes. Like somebody like Lamar, who obviously can do both the throwing and the rushing, is not going to have the same type of stats as the Patrick Mahomes. But you can tell the impact on the field is something that's somebody I can see. Even then, can I see him getting 45? Because I don't trust him staying healthy and his sustainability.
I actually do, just because of the fact that I see how cautious he is. Lamar, this is what I've been saying. I was saying it as soon as the season started. And I admitted I was wrong when Lamar first got in the league. Because one thing I was worried about was I felt like he needed more time in college to really get his throwing down pat. But once I seen him get into the league and start throwing the way he was throwing, after like 5 or 6 games his rookie year, I was like, I'm wrong. Like, he's ready. He's ready for the league. I was one of those people that was wrong. I didn't call him a running back like how other reporters were doing. But I just wasn't that confident. But once I seen him being able to accurately throw the ball the way he was, and he was purposely not taking hits, like how Michael Vick didn't care and would take hits, he chose to run out of bounds before he took a hit. He chose to slide before taking a hit. And even the hits that he took, he never, like, collided with anybody. He let the hits absorb. So Lamar Jackson is by far, like, way smarter than Michael Vick ever was at the quarterback position. So I don't see him getting hurt as quickly as others might.
But can you even see a 10-year contract for Lamar that just takes the money out of it?
Nah, I don't see 10 years.
That's crazy. Everybody can't get a 10-year.
Everybody can't get a 10-year.
Everybody can't get a 10-year.
Inflation is gonna happen, but not that type of way. Not for every quarterback. No. Yeah, man. Because Patrick Mahomes doesn't primarily run. He does run, but it's not his primary threat. Lamar Jackson, as great as he can throw, his legs are his primary threat. And I don't think an organization is going to put all their money into a quarterback whose primary use is their legs.
And it's actually going to be interesting to see if Lamar can do it again. Like we seen it last year in his MVP season. Like, yeah, he can dominate, but it's like people got tape on you now, man. We seen people be one-hit wonders, and I love Cam, but we seen Cam in that 1 year flash like, wow, Cam, and then the next season he was still great, but he wasn't that 2015 Cam like we seen. So can you keep that high play or high level of play for 2 seasons in a row? And that's going to be interesting to see for Lamar Jackson. So can you improve with the throwing from last season? Can you improve with the running and not take as many hits? It's all going to pay or all going to make sense when it comes to payday for Lamar Jackson, man. So definitely. But let's move on to Cam Newton. Like we said on the last pod, he is now going to the Patriots. And it's funny how the reactions went for Cam. Because when Cam first got signed, we didn't say it, but people on TV were saying, man, they Super Bowl contenders. They top 3 in the AFC, yada, yada, yada. I actually think they might be top 3 AFC. But I'm going to let that fly right now.
You can say top 3, but they better not be higher than number 3.
Yeah. Because it's definitely the Chiefs and Ravens. Yeah, so the top, they was like top 3 AFC, yada, yada, yada. And it's funny how the week went on. It was like Super Bowl contenders. Oh, no, they playoff contenders. And then it was like, is Cam even gonna be the starter week 1? It's
I started seeing it. I was like, damn, like
how did y'all really go from that? It was like Cam Super Bowl, and it just kept going down week by week when it set in. It's like, why is it going down?
Like I said in the pod, when the pod just started just now. Big numbers and big hype. And right now we on big hype.
Yeah.
So just to transition off of that, the hype video that this man dropped. Cam is the king of hype videos. When it comes to athletes right now, the king of hype videos. I don't care what nobody say. They questioning whether this man even gonna start. I'm like, y'all trust this man Stidham? What he said in the video?
I'm a killer.
Y'all gonna choose that over this?
Yeah.
Like, man, you a fool, boy. You a fool.
Y'all crazy.
I'm tired of being humble.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being humble.
Yeah, man. Bro, Cam a killer, bro. He said it in the video, I'm a killer, dog.
I'm a killer.
Why you even try me? He was talking to the Panthers and he was talking to the Patriots. He was like, you choosing Teddy Bridgewater over me? You about to choose Jarrett Stidham over me?
I feel like he was talking to the whole league.
Whole league, yeah, that's true too.
All 31 other teams, didn't even want him. So
That's
it's like
true.
he talking to all y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna choose that over this?
Crazy,
Man, it's one animal in the jungle that when he raw, everything stopped.
Yes,
man,
bro.
I was like,
Yes,
this man
bro.
ready. He finna take revenge on the league.
Yeah.
He's straight out of Auburn again.
Yeah.
Bro. He really
Bro,
do.
I've never seen Cam's physique. I've been keeping up with Cam since he came out of Auburn, bro. Cam has never been this fit, man. He looks slim, but it looks like he got bigger, too.
He's lean.
He's lean
and
now,
muscular.
man. It's like he's really in shape.
He on like a LeBron diet. I don't know what this man on. LeBron spent like $2 million a year on his health.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like Cam been doing the same thing.
It's the gospel music.
Yeah, it's the gospel music.
It's really the gospel music that got on this way.
He was on that Rose in his last hype video. He was listening to Rick Ross in his last one.
That's
but
what I'm
still,
saying,
either
man.
way.
That's what I'm saying, bro. God got Cam. Bro, Cam is going to show out this season. I don't care what nobody's saying. Y'all can fluctuate with y'all expectations.
It's not going to be Super Bowl, so I don't want y'all doing that Super Bowl or bust thing because it's not going to be Super Bowl. Y'all just need to be satisfied with a really good first season back. That's what y'all need to be satisfied.
That's all I want, bro. A good season out of Cam, man. I'm happy as hell. I'm a smiling ass. But since it is the question that is being asked, and people are questioning if Cam is going to have the practice time to learn the system, do you expect Cam to be the starter by game 1?
I honestly do. Like, even with all the cuts that they're doing to start the season earlier, I feel like Cam going to be the starter because Belichick got to change the system. Like, he's not going to make Cam. Now, if Cam had to fit into the system that's already there, then I might question. I might be like, okay, Cam might not start. But Belichick finna hand Cam a whole new playbook. I seen film on everything you've done, and here you go. Here's an offensive scheme that I think will work with your play style.
Yeah.
Cam gonna look it over. He probably gonna Skype him or FaceTime him or something back and be like, yeah, this can work. Like, or we can make tweaks here and there. And Cam gonna be the starter by week 1. Belichick finna change this whole playbook.
Yeah. It's funny, bro, because Norv Turner, who was Cam's offensive coordinator in Carolina, and Josh McDaniels, who is the OC for the Patriots, they run the same type of system. So the same system that Cam was running in 2018, the McDaniels is going to run it with the Patriots. I keep the Patriots, bro. It's going to be the short little dump down system to the running backs like they always do. And it's going to be the RPO, Cam, running to the outside. You can get the little read option. The same thing he was doing when he was on the MVP track, and they were 6-2 before Cam got hurt. It's going to be the same system and with New England, bro. So Cam is going to flourish, man. But the big caveat is if he stays healthy. Knock on wood, we all want Cam to stay healthy, but that is the big thing that we want to see.
I believe he can.
I believe he can too.
That O-line that the Patriots got, it's not perfect.
That's the big key.
It's not perfect, but it's ran by Belichick. I trust Belichick. I trust Belichick to keep it on the wraps. And I trust Isaiah Wynn. Yeah. I trust Wynn. So
Cam has never been behind a great O-line, and this is a great O-line, man. Like, they actually paid their O-line. Carolina really didn't do that. They paid their O-line, and their center is like an all-pro. Their guard is all-pro. Isaiah Wynn is going to be a top left tackle in this league. It's like they have promising O-linemen everywhere you look on the Patriots, man. So this is going to be the best protection Cam ever had.
Yeah.
So, Cam's going to show y'all, man. Y'all still talking about Cam.
He going to show y'all.
Yeah, man, because I know y'all still talking about it, man.
I said, but I'm the distraction.
Yeah.
But I'm the one wrong. Okay.
This is what I wanted to say, too, bro. And I hate how people portray this on the media when I wake up in the morning. I woke up this morning to see Cam. They was talking about Cam clothes this morning. Everybody had a comment on what Cam was wearing when he was in New England.
Because
it's like, bro, he just cooling. But they still got to comment on what he wearing.
I was telling my mom this morning, Mom, Cam is the first quarterback that acts like a wide receiver. Like, we're used to the wide receivers being the divas. We used to the wide receivers, like, with the flair and being the fun guy and the personality, blah, blah, blah. We've never seen a quarterback with this type of flair. Like, we've just never seen it. I gotta
think. I don't know.
No, not to this level. Not to this level. We've seen quarterbacks be chill and fun. But the way Cam is the fun. Like, you even said it. When Cam walk in the locker room, the whole vibe changed. And not in a we know who the leader is type way. It's we know who the leader is and we know who the fun guy is now type of way. Mm-hmm. Like, and we're not used to that. We're used to the traditional QBs, the leaders, the quiet at the press conference, answering a straight question. Cam a sore winner. He a sore loser.
That's what I like.
He gonna talk.
Yeah.
He gonna do everything. You want me to stop scoring?
He tired of being humble, dog.
Yeah, he tired of being humble. Like, they're not used to that at the quarterback position.
That's true too.
They're not used to that.
That's true too, bro. I'm ready for it. But I'm tired of y'all talking about Cam clothes. But let my man live, dog. Y'all should be judging his game. That's all y'all should be talking about right now. I don't care what Cam wearing, bro.
And it was saying Belichick ain't going to be letting him do hype videos during the season. I was like, okay, now that I can see Belichick saying, okay, during the season, we don't need all the videos.
He don't need to see that because he going to show y'all on the field what he doing.
Yeah. I think that. But I see Belichick saying that, hey, you got to chill with during the season.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it. He just getting y'all ready right now. Cam really just getting y'all hype for the season. That's all he's doing. He just getting y'all hype and then show y'all he's healthy. Because you see he already working out with Sanu. Already working out with Sanu in L.A. Come on, man. My man working right now. Dog. But let's move on to the NFL preseason. It has been cut to 2 games now from 4.
Finally.
And it is in conversations of being no preseason at all if COVID just keeps going up at a rapid rate right now. So do you like it? You just say yeah.
I like the fact that they cut it to 2. Mm-hmm. Do I want them to completely get rid of the preseason? No, I don't want that because first off, I want the rookies to be able to get some type of like jitterbugs out of there. I don't want them to just go instantly straight into their first NFL game, even though most of them probably ain't gonna play.
Yeah.
But the 1 or 2 that do get lucky enough to play, I don't want them to, like fumble the bag on that, you know what I'm saying, mess up because they still nervous, Mm-hmm. So I feel like 2 preseason games, I've always been vouching for 2 preseason games.
I like
you don't need more than 2.
I like 2.
Like, just don't let the vets play in any other preseason games.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like, just like everybody else you still trying to look at play.
Yeah. And the NFLPA has already voted unanimously to have no preseason at all. So it's really on the NFL and the owners to vote if they want to have 0 preseason games. And it's really a toss-up right now because you don't know if the owners still want to just have the 2 preseason games to cash in on those games. You don't know if they really just want to cut to the season. Because if they don't have a preseason, it's going to be really like 3 weeks of conditioning. Right. And it's really only be like a couple of weeks of actually padded practices. It's really all it's going to be.
That's when you should incorporate more, what's the word? Rival practices. Not rival practices, but opposite competition practices. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bills versus the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what they usually do.
And stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see, man, because I definitely want 2 preseason games. I don't want it to be none at all because I want players to have a rhythm before they go in. I don't want them to jump into just the first game. And we've seen before how some players can just hop into season 1. Like we seen with Ezekiel Elliott when he tried to come back from his first week from being in Cabo. He just wasn't ready by that first week. It took a couple of weeks for him to actually get into a groove of the season. Same thing with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon got back. He wasn't the same Melvin Gordon from his holdout. You got to give players a couple of weeks to get into a rhythm first and then pop them into an actual game, man. It's a better rhythm like that. But let's move on to Zion and Dame on the cover of 2K. So let's do Dame first. So Dame, well-deserved, is on the 2K cover for 2K21. First of all, though, I don't like that cover, though. The cover that they actually have for it is trash.
Yeah, they could have did better.
Yeah.
Honestly, they could have did something from when he hit the game buzzer.
That's what I was saying,
They could have put something on there from that. Like, I don't know, the picture they showed.
And somebody had customized it to be that, too. It was like he was waving like this, and then they had the shot. Or they had his face. You know how you look up at the right? They had that all customized.
That was funny. Or they could have put the one when he hit the game winner versus Houston.
The Rockets.
Yeah. They could have put that one.
I don't know who making these covers, dog, but they lame as hell.
They could honestly hire a regular person who plays
all
the time.
It's people on Twitter that are making way better covers. Way better covers than what we getting right now, bro. Crazy. But like I said, Dame is well deserved. I don't really know who else I would have picked above Dame.
Russell Westbrook.
Hasn't Westbrook already been on the cover?
Nah, I don't think. If he did, remember that 2K15 cover when it was 3 people on the cover? He might have been on that one.
Westbrook might have been already.
He ain't have one on his own. No, Westbrook ain't had no cover on his own now. He might have been on the one with 3 people because it was KD.
It was 2K20.
This one I'm talking about right here. No, KD. It was KD on there. That's what it was.
No, he was last year. Or this is customized. This customized.
Yeah, he was definitely not 2K.
Oh, okay. Oh, because Giannis was last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Giannis was last year.
So Russell Westbrook definitely deserves a 2K cover by now. Who else?
I don't know if he gonna get one though, because it's late in his career. I don't know.
Yeah, he might not get one, but he deserves one.
But right now, I would say Dame is a better player than Westbrook, so I would put Dame in a higher echelon to get that cover.
But I just feel like out of a respect thing, Westbrook being in the league longer, he should have had a 2K cover.
But the thing about Westbrook, he's so polarizing, man. I don't know if a lot of people would have been rocking with
him. He's a bad boy of the league.
Yeah.
You the bad boy of the league. You can't be mad when you get dealt a bad hand.
A lot of people don't like his game like that. He got that, not really an attitude, but it's just like his persona of Westbrook. Yeah. The same thing with Cam. It's just like the persona of those two guys, man. They get a bad rap. But let's move on to Zion, man, because that's what a lot of controversy. It wasn't controversy. It felt like everybody on Twitter was mad.
A lot of people agree. A lot of people agree with my tweet. The only reason Zion made that cover was because of marketing.
Most definitely.
It was because of marketing. Not saying the 21 games he played, he did phenomenal. But you only played this much of the season. Granted, what you did play was great, but the marketing fact of you're supposed to be the next face of the league after LeBron, that's the reason why you got the cover of it. Because you could have put Ja, you could have put Tatum, you could have put Luka. There's so many other young stars who played the whole season damn near before you that you. I'm not
buying the game if those. I'm not buying it above a Zion, bro. I want if Zion on the game, I'm buying it.
Marketing.
Exactly. And like I said, and this is another point I tried to make because I was somebody who I didn't have a problem with the cover. When I seen Zion, and it's on the next gen cover. That's why it's the next generation of players. That's why Zion is the face. I didn't have a problem with it because other than LeBron and Steph Curry, Zion is the next in line for like just straight star power. He has the most star power in the league, period, other than LeBron and Steph.
Honestly,
you gotta put him on the cover.
He's the quickest person to ever get the NBA 2K cover. Like dead
most definitely.
I've never seen it took LeBron till 2014 to be on the cover of 2K. Like he had to win a whole championship before he got the cover of 2K. But Zion straight out of high school, not straight out of high school, but straight out of Duke. Yeah. Like in your first season, only playing 21 games. You the cover of 2K already?
But they usually don't have the two cover thing. Usually they would have been dang.
Actually, no, they do the two covers. Well, it don't not the way they're doing it right now.
Yeah, it's usually not a young dude like that. It's usually just Dame and somebody else.
And then they put like a legend edition.
Yeah.
Because they did that with D-Wade. D-Wade was the legend edition last year.
That's how they usually do it. They usually just Dame. But since PS5 coming out, they said, let's do a next gen like that. Yeah. So that's why Zion is good. That's why I didn't have a problem with it because it's next gen is Zion. But this is another point that I'm going to piggyback of what you said of why he got in so early. I feel like the 2K people are trying to capitalize on his star power because they don't know how long Zion is going to last in the league. You know Ja going to last. You know Tatum going to last because their games are not based on athleticism. But somebody like Zion, a lot of people are scared that one twist of an ankle, something with his knee, he land wrong, and like that could be the end of Zion. So they like, let's capitalize on his market right now before anything tanks it, because obviously he's on a high right now. Like what he's averaging, 25 or 24,
20, at least 22 points.
Something crazy like that. And he just got into the league, and we just seen a recent pic of him, and that boy looked like a Greek god, and he was dominating when he was a fat, chubby dude. Yeah. So imagine what he gonna do in shape. I'm excited to see that, but that's something I really realized about 2K. Like they might be trying to capitalize because they don't know how long he is gonna last.
Marketing wins overall. When it comes to video games and all that stuff, you got to choose marketing over the actual production.
Yeah. And I don't got no problems with Ja if Ja would have made it. Ja, like I've said this before, Ja will be an MVP in this league by his third year. Trust me, in 2 more years he will be MVP. But I don't think Ja has more pull than Zion. Tatum doesn't have more pull than Zion. Luka doesn't have more pull than Zion.
Because like you honestly see that with Madden a lot. Like I noticed with Madden 04, Vic was taken off that year. Like honestly, the best. I think Lamar Jackson is better because he's just the 2.0 version. Mm-hmm. But Vic was the first quarterback we ever seen dominate the league like that with his legs. So they said we got to put him on the cover. Mm-hmm. And then the next year, Madden 05, the hit stick was introduced. Who better to put on the cover of Madden? Yeah, hit stick was introduced in 05. Who better to put on the cover of Madden than the lifelong hit stick himself, Ray Lewis? Mm-hmm. Like, you got to put Ray Lewis on the cover if you introducing the hit stick. Mm-hmm. Like, so you just got to think of stuff like that. The year after Odell made the catch, who made the cover of Madden? Yeah. Odell Beckham. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So marketing goes into all of that. Yeah. So it's not just who wins the title or who made it to the championship or whatever. Mm-hmm. It goes into who got the most eyes on him that season.
Yeah. But I'll give y'all that LeBron point because I feel like LeBron could have easily been on the cover way before 2014. But I don't know. I feel like it was other things at play at that time because Kobe was really running the league.
He was.
Because you got to think when 2K really became relevant was 2K8. Yeah. 2K8 is when I actually started playing 2K.
First 2K I got was 2K10 when Kobe was on the cover.
2K10, Kobe was on the cover. And after that, I don't really remember who was after the cover after that.
It was Jordan on 2011. It was
Was it KD on 12?
Nah, KD ain't make it before Bron. KD was on 15, the one right after Bron. And then 16 was, who was 16?
Jordan was on 2K12 too.
He was 2K11 and 12. He was 11 and 12. Yep.
2K11 was, damn, he was on both.
He was 11 and 12. That's what it was.
That's
that's why I didn't remember who was on 12.
13 was, okay, he was on the cover. It was him, D-Rose, and Blake.
That's crazy.
Because I remember you used to go on the GameStop, you could pick which one you wanted.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. See, KD made the cover of 2K before Bron did. So it's like, damn, like, you got to earn, I feel like you got to earn your stripes before you get the cover of 2K, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and then we're Bron.
Yeah, see, man, I don't know. I ain't knocking Zion because it's a young black man getting paid and getting the marketing.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, it's like, you got to earn your stripes, bro. Like, how I got my stripes on right now, I earned these.
You do, but you can't argue Ja, and you can't argue Tatum, and you can't argue Luka when they really don't have their stripes. They played a season.
But I'm saying they played longer. If I'm going to choose a young dude, I'm choosing one of the ones that played longer and gave me the most production.
I'm going to choose somebody
And
who
Ja
is more
gave
dynamic.
Ja damn near gave you the same amount of eyes as Zion, if we're being honest.
No way.
Ja damn near 60 games compared to Zion 20 games. Come on now. Out of all those numbers.
I watched literally 2 Memphis games this whole season. Other than highlights, when do you actually sit down and watch a Memphis game? Please tell me.
Not many.
That's what I'm saying.
It depends who they're playing.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
But I'm saying, even the highlights that you watch a lot of Ja highlights.
I do.
Okay.
But I'm saying, for an actual game, you're watching Zion games. What are you crazy now?
The minute restrictions he got, I ain't watching the whole Pelicans game.
Bro, I promise you, everybody is watching the Zion game.
We can put this on a poll. We can do a poll.
Yes.
Who
are you watching more? An actual game? Who are you watching more?
Because Ja playing more. What you talking about? I watch a whole Grizzlies game before I watch a whole Pelicans game. I promise y'all not. I'll turn to the game when I know Zion is.
I'm watching Zion limited minutes over a Ja full game. I promise you I am. I promise you I am, because I'm more excited because I know something is going to happen instantly. I know something's going to happen.
It's just the hype is there for Zion, so that makes you watch. Like, with Ja, you know what you finna see, but with Zion, we don't know.
But that's my
because
point.
The minutes are so restricted. You don't know.
But that's my point. He's more dynamic, and he brings more eyes to the screen.
Because you know within the minute restriction that he got, they're going to feed this man in the minute restrictions that he got. So you got to watch, because it's like, damn, other than the minutes that he's going to get, he ain't finna get the ball, so I got to watch.
You going to watch Zion, period, bro. Zion don't even got to touch the rock.
You going to watch him, but
Zion don't even got to touch the rock, and I'm watching Zion every play. Because you wonder if he going to get a block. You wonder if he going to get a steal. He going to dish that hole. You're worried about Zion,
if I'm
bro.
somebody like Tatum, Luka, or Ja, I'm sitting there looking like, I wouldn't hate on Zion, but I'd be like, damn, I played like 2/3 of the season, and my numbers snap. And I got a lot of eyes on me. I mean, I have Zion eyes on me, but I got eyes on me now.
You got eyes on you, but you ain't got Zion eyes, bro. Man, like I said, it's only 2 people above Zion who got Zion eyes, and that is LeBron James and Steph Curry. Other than that, is nobody who got eyes like
James
that.
Harden. I don't even like Harden.
James Harden is out getting more eyes than bro. James Harden is polarizing.
But he gets the eyes.
Not like
the fact that he's polarizing, he gets all the eyes. What are you talking about?
We can talk about this. We can talk about this after part. I ain't gonna talk about this with you. We trying to move on. But Zion gets the most eyes other than Steph and LeBron. That's what we're gonna say.
Lies.
All right, bro. Let's move on to the Redskins, man. They are most likely going to change their name. They almost lost sponsors They are changing their name.
They lost sponsors from FedEx
and Nike.
Currently.
Nike removed all the Redskin merch from their website until they changed their name. So was it time, bro?
Yeah, it was time. And a lot of people who are upset about the fact that the name change is happening, you obviously don't know what it feels like to have that type of discrimination against you or anything like that, or if you've never been in a situation where you're dealing with a symbol that offends you. Like, I feel like that's what people who are upset about the situation are going through. You just don't understand. And the fact that you don't understand is making you angry. Everybody who wants the name changed, it's because they want a positive name put in place. Redskins may not be offensive to you, or whether you're white or black, it may not be offensive to you because you're not Native American. But Native Americans or people who have that in them, and that's part of their culture, they may be offended by that. If you're offended by that and it shows like racial bias in any type of way, then it needs to be changed. Like, and the fact that one of the names they were thinking about naming was the Washington Red Tails, I love that name. Like, that's positive. Like, from the Red Tails back during the war, from the Black pilots back then. Like, you ain't never seen the movie Red Tails? Whoa, you tripping. That's a whole Black history lesson for a whole nother day.
I ain't never seen Red
But
Tails.
the Washington Red Tails, like, that's a wonderful name. Or the Washington Generals, like, I think a hockey team was named that once before or something like that. Like, those are good names. The Generals, the Red Tails, historic prevalences like that. I feel like those are good names to put in place of Redskins. So.
Mm-hmm. I heard Expos. I like Expos for some reason. I don't know what it is about Expos.
Expos sound cool, but I like Red Tails and I like Generals.
That's cool. Because it gotta be something
Washington.
Yeah, it gotta be something
that's
like
why
that.
I like Red Tails and Generals. Those are both, they remind me of Washington.
Yeah.
So.
That's true too. It was definitely time though, man. They've been complaining about this for so long too. And you just thought they were just gonna keep pushing through it, but finally, I guess because they're seeing all the Black injustice, they're like, damn, let's get some injustice or get some justice for the Native Americans at the same time, man. So it was definitely time, bro. It was definitely time. It's gonna be interesting to see what the name is, man, and the new logos, new jerseys. So they got a whole new marketing plan coming up for the Redskins coming soon, man. So definitely interesting to see. Let's move on to Maker.
Yes, sir. Shout out.
He is the first top or 5-star recruit to get or go to a
HBCU over D1 schools.
Offered
by all the blue blood D1, Kentucky, Kansas, UNC. The list goes on. All the blue blood D1 schools turned all of them down and chose Howard University. The Mecca, the holy Mecca of HBCUs. He said, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, man.
I want to say he's from DC.
He's changing the power structure, bro. And then Mikey Williams retweeted that jump, and he was like, they ain't ready, bro.
Yeah.
They ain't ready. I'm like, now see, this is what I'm talking about. Who's going to be the athlete that makes the jump? Who's going to be the first athlete to do it? Who's going to be the first group of athletes to make that change? Like, and I don't want to say take that L, because I don't think it's an L. Education-wise, going to HBCU is not taking an L. And athletic-wise, it's not taking an L. Is it harder? Yeah, but I don't see it taking an L. So who's going to take that sacrifice of maybe not taking the best route, quote unquote, to be able to still get to your future and set a trend, not a trend, but set a path of success for the next generation. Yeah. So I feel Maker made a great decision with doing that.
Oh, he's from Arizona. He's from Arizona. Yeah, he's from Arizona. So he going all the way across country to go to Howard University, man. It was definitely a good day when I seen it, man. He's a top 16 prospect, I want to say, in the rankings right now. And it's just like, I really thought Mikey was going to be the first one to take that leap. I didn't even know he had HBCUs even lined up, even in his top 5. You feel what I'm saying? So the fact that he picked it and he was the first one to start this change, it's like, okay, it's coming sooner than expected, really. So it's really get a kick in the ass for this movement, man. I think more people are just going to follow through after this, man.
Because remember, I don't know if it was the last pod or the pod before, but remember I told you, not even, especially now that he actually picked the HBCU. Mm-hmm. Now it's a threat. It is a real deal threat. Yeah. Remember I told you when kids have those 3 hats on the table for decision day, having an HBCU up there, it's a threat now. Before, wasn't nobody picking HBCU, so it ain't no threat to put the hat on the table. But now that like they're actually picking HBCU now, having an HBCU hat on the table next to UNC or next to Kentucky, you be like, damn, like he actually might choose that school over them now. So the threat is there, and the promise of the threat is there now. So.
And guess how surprised the Duke or Kentucky was that Maker picked that school. They was not thinking that, bro. I promise you they went to sleep thinking that he was going to one of the Blue Bloods. They did not expect that man to go to Howard. And so much money is lost. Really, with him just going for the D1 and the Blue Bloods, so much money is lost just by that one commitment, man. Because you know how much, because he's Thon, brother. And you know how much excitement was for Thon, and he's just another Thon at this point. A 6'11" dude, can play all 5 positions at this point. He brings the excitement. So to just take that and generate all that wealth to an HBCU, man, tickets, odds.
And still be able to have the opportunity for the G League or the NBA. Yeah, like, still have that same opportunity, man. It's the power structure finna change. Like, I put that tweet out about a week or so ago. It's going to take about 10 athletes for the next 2 years to do that in a row for the power structure to really start changing. And we got 1 out of 20. I said 20 people in 2 years. We got 1 out of 20 right now.
Man. So. Shout out to Maker, man, making that first step. I think Mikey's definitely going to be next.
Mikey going to be next.
He's going
to be the next one.
I don't know if he's going to be next.
Well,
hopefully other people get. But whatever Mikey leads, Mikey going to HBCU. That is what I foresee in the future. We already talked about that, though. So shout out to him. Let's talk about Oladipo, man. So Victor Oladipo, obviously he came back from a patella injury this past season. He came back, and I want to say he came back in February, or was it in January? He came back in January or February of this season.
It was February.
Early February. It was early February.
What? No, it couldn't have been early because it had to be after All-Star break. It had to be after All-Star break.
It might have.
I ain't remember him playing before All-Star break. I feel like that's pointless to come in like early February and then the next week be out for All-Star break.
He might have been. No, he came back January 29th.
Okay.
So he came back a little bit before All-Star break. So it was early. Or late January at least. And he came back, and he really just didn't look the same. Obviously, you have to get back in rhythm after coming from a patella injury. That's something that you really have to get accustomed to. He really didn't want to land on that right leg, and it's just like we never seen the full Oladipo this season.
Yeah.
So he chose not to play in the NBA restart. It's not COVID related. I'm pretty sure COVID has something to do with it, but he's not playing because of injury related reasons. He just didn't feel like himself, and he wants to restart in the 2021-20.
Plus, I feel like the Pacers don't have a championship opportunity right now, so it's like, why even just stay out and just get back healthy, just get 100% healthy, and then when you can play a full season, then that's when you should come back and make your debut again.
Yeah,
so.
Because he's traveling with the Pacers, but he is not playing. So it's not COVID related. This is definitely injury related, man. He just didn't want to come back because before he came, like they was like fourth in the East before he came back. But they were trying to incorporate him back into the offense, but he just wasn't capable of it because it just wasn't the same Oladipo. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're going to get back into that rhythm. They might. What are they right now? They want to say 6? I want to say they're 6 right now.
They're 6 because Brooklyn is 8th and Washington.
Brooklyn is 7 and Orlando 8.
8. Yeah. That's what it is. Brooklyn 7, Orlando 8.
And then it's probably Pacers, Sixers, Heat
number 4.
Celtics, Raptors, Bucks. Yeah. And that's how it goes. So hopefully Oladipo comes back better next season, but I definitely just wanted to give y'all that news. All right, man. Let's dive into this topic, man. Real interesting topic. We had a real heated debate.
Y'all finna side with me. Y'all gonna side with me.
It's gonna be an interesting conversation. I really can't be mad either way. But Maya Moore, man. So she sat out this past WNBA season to help. I forgot what the man's name was.
I forgot his name too.
But he was in jail for 50 years for a crime that he did not commit. She sat out this whole season to help the man get out of jail. And she just sacrificed her whole playing career in the middle of her prime to get a man out of jail. He just got out this past week. And I think for that alone, that she is one of the greatest athletes to have ever played a sport, period. And I think her influence that when we look back on Maya Moore.
Jonathan Irons. That's his name.
Jonathan Irons. So he was in jail 50 years for what?
Years. It didn't say. I got it.
Oh, okay. So he was in jail 50 years. I forgot what it was for.
Burglary and assault charges that were overturned. Man. So she sacrificed her whole career to get this man out of jail. And it's just like, Edgar didn't agree with me on this point, but I just feel like when you sacrifice something, because we talked about this on the No Justice, No Peace pod. When you sacrifice your career for the betterment of the next man, I think that just puts you on a different level than anybody else. It does.
Because a lot of people not doing that. A lot of people not cutting off their resources, their income to help the next man. A lot of people not doing that. Like, we haven't really seen it. We've seen our leads. We've seen the Bill Russells, you know what I'm saying, break down barriers in their respective sports, the Jackie Robinsons. But when you sacrifice your career, man, you sacrifice your future earnings for the next man. And she's not coming back to the league anytime soon. She's going to continue doing this for the betterment of the society, man. I think her influence, when we look back on Maya Moore, we will say she was top 3, top 5 most influential players, period, to ever play a game.
Now that I can agree with. But before we started the pod, Quincy was saying she's one of the top 3 athletes of all time. And I was like, whoa, you got to slow that down. You got to slow it. Now, if we're talking strictly influence, we're not talking anything like on the court.
But we have to talk about what I told you earlier, bro. We talked about she has 2 Olympic gold medals. She has 2 NCAA championships, and she has 4 WNBA titles. She is my favorite woman player, period. And she has that. And she has the social justice. So I'm like, when you put all that in, bro, she got to be up there.
I know, but it's like top 3, bro. Like, greatest athletes of all time and most influential influence plays a part.
Yeah, I understand the difference.
Now, I will say influence plays a big part in the greatest athletes, but that's only one part. Like, everything that goes into being the greatest athlete is what did you do for the sport? What was your influence? Like, what are your stats? What are your accomplishments? All of those go into the greatest athletes. But most influential athletes, then that's when you can have a debate on if she's top 3 or not. And I feel like you have a strong case for most influential athletes if we're just purely talking influence off of the court.
Yeah.
So that's different. But greatest athletes all time, no, she's not even top 25.
Because even when we're talking about influential, you put in, I mean, you could say Bill Russell for breaking down the barriers.
You have to, bro. I don't care. It was in the 50s and 60s or whatever, but you have to count that. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have what we have now. You gotta count that. You have to.
You do. It's tough, man, but I'm not letting up from top 5. She's definitely top 5. I'm not letting up off top 5.
For influential athletes,
for influential, yeah.
For
top 5 influentials,
because
like I said, nobody else has done this, man, for the betterment. Like, that man could have been rotting in the jail for something that he did not do, and she's not stopping. You could say, oh, she only did it for one person, but she will keep doing it. She's not coming back next season. She will keep doing it because her NBA game is solidified. Like I said, she has 4 WNBA titles, and she wasn't even 30. You feel what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't even in her prime
yet. She's just now 31.
She's just now 31. You feel what I'm saying? So she could have added about 3 more titles to that. But she feels so solidified with her legacy. She like, let me move on to something else. And I just think her
like full respect to her for real.
She the GOAT, man.
Because first off,
she up there at least.
Like a black woman, a powerful black woman doing that. I love to see black women do that. So all power to her for that. And I just really hope that she continues to do what she's doing. Yeah. So top 3, top 5 most influential athletes, I could definitely give you the nod on that.
Yeah.
So.
And it really don't matter, man. We just saying that just for, you know what I'm saying, just for ranking purposes, but just everybody that's in that conversation of influential, we definitely appreciate you because that definitely takes a lot of heart.
Because I don't know, like with me, I really be sitting and thinking like there's a lot of influential athletes.
Definitely.
Like I don't know, you might rarely find somebody like you to put mine more that high. Like I'm just telling you from how other people
that's
are
fine,
gonna
and that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, because a lot of people aren't really gonna say that.
Yeah.
They'll probably put her top 20, but like
that's fine.
Because
she will not come to mind, bro. Because
she won't come to mind.
First of all, her being a woman is already putting her on the back end. If we keeping it a whole being, is already putting her. Because
Serena Williams is the only woman. Serena Williams and Billie Jean King are the only 2 women athletes that people actually. We're getting to the point now where I'll say Megan Rapinoe, the female soccer player for the U.S. team and all that. She's up there now too. Like those are like the 3 women athletes that people automatically know right off the head when you're talking top anything. So,
but the only person I clearly put above Maya, man, like I said, I've just been rocking with Maya for so long, man. Since them UConn days, when we just see her greatness, she was great at everything she did, man. So. Only person I'm putting above Maya in terms of women is Serena, man. You can say Billie Jean. He makes a good point with Rapinoe, but it's just like I love Maya more. I love Maya more.
Serena Williams is the only female athlete, honestly, that I got in my top 5. Like, and I'm including men and women. I put Serena Williams over a lot of men athletes when I talk about greatest athletes.
You gotta respect that, man. You definitely gotta respect that. If you're saying GOATs, period, then I would give you that. But influence, man. Influence, man. She got a man out of jail after 50 years.
You can make a case on how she.
That's crazy, man. So definitely shout out to Maya Moore for that, man. It takes a huge amount of sacrifice to do that. So we definitely appreciate her and definitely continue that success. And let's move on to college football. So we heard earlier today by what's the old boy that be on the show? Feinbaum. They said the season could possibly be moved to the spring because all the COVID-related issues that are going on right now. They don't know what is going to happen to this 2019 or 2020 fall season.
I don't know if I could wait till next spring.
It's going to cause a lot of problems
for college football.
Yeah,
a whole year without college football, I would lose my mind. Oh my gosh! Like without Gators football, like y'all don't know the hype that I have for this upcoming season.
Yeah,
I'm predicting Kyle Trask to be a finalist for the Heisman. I'm predicting Dan Mullen to be Coach of the Year. I'm predicting us to lose no more than 1 game. I just had so many predictions for this season.
But, bro, would you rather them play in the fall and have no fans, or would you rather them play in the spring and have a possibility of fans? Because you know the fans play a big part in these games, especially college-wise.
I ain't gonna lie, they do.
So would you rather them just wait until spring for that?
Because I'm a fan. I'm not just a student. I'm a fan. Like I like going to the games. So it's I don't know. Just knowing I gotta walk past the swamp and not be able to go in while they playing. Like I don't know. That's just dang.
That's what I'm saying. So it might be better if you wait till spring for that. You know what I'm saying? But they were also talking about a lot of problems that could come with it. So and they were saying the NFL draft would still be the same. It will still be in, late April it usually is?
Yeah.
Late April, early May type of thing. And the season would be from February until April. And they were saying a lot of players could not play. Like a Trevor Lawrence could say, man, draft in a few months, man. I'm going to just wait for the draft. You feel what I'm saying? Justin Fields, too.
I feel like this kind of has to count as a red shirt season. Like, or somewhat. Like, I feel like that's what this season has to count as. What if you a junior or a senior and you still have one more year of eligibility, but it's like this season got taken away from you? Do you low key?
Oh, so if you're saying if this season is not played.
Yeah, this season ain't played.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta wait till next spring.
They'll give you another year.
I feel like they have to. This has to be treated like a red shirt season.
Yeah. If no games were played by the NCAA this season, they would get a red shirt like they did this year. For some spring sports, they definitely let people come back. I think it would be the same thing for football. Yeah, but if games are played and you just don't play in them, like that's your eligibility. Like games are still being played, but you just don't want to play. And you know what I'm saying? Eligibility would definitely be off the table.
Yeah.
But that's definitely something to look forward to, man. They're saying that the spring football training camps are back, or summer football training camps for college are back into effect right now for 6 weeks. There's still a lot to be hashed out. They still don't know when the season is going to be started, but it's definitely something to look forward to. Let's move on to the NBA again and talk about the bubble. So we're going to talk about what the bubble is going to look like. So Malika Andrews was on Get Up earlier today, and she is currently in the bubble right now, the NBA restart bubble.
She's been in there since Thursday.
Since Thursday. So she said she's gotten a test every day she's been in there. She said she flew on a commercial flight, so that's why she had to get tested every day. And so she said it was like 7 tests she had to go through.
Yeah, like 7 tests.
7 tests she had to go through. And she said tomorrow she will finally get it lifted, and she will finally get a regular aura ring that we were talking about a couple times ago.
The ring that lets you know if you are about to get COVID.
Yeah, like 3 days before.
Like yeah, like 3 days before.
Yeah.
And it beeps if you're within 6 feet of somebody.
I think that's another one.
That's a different one?
I think that's a different monitor.
Okay. Either way, you're going to have a monitor on you that beeps if you're within 6 feet of somebody, and then you're going to have the ring that lets you know 3 days prior if you're about to catch COVID or not.
Mm-hmm. So she was telling us that they deliver 3 meals a day to your room at
8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m.
Yep.
First off, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I like to eat whenever I want to eat. What if it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm starving? Like, I ain't finna save what I ate from 6 p.m. because it's going to be going by 8 p.m.
I wonder if they're going to have room service.
They got to.
Or is that just for her? You know what I'm saying?
I'm at Disneyland. I got to have room service. I'm at Disney World.
Like,
I'm at Disney.
Especially when you in your room all day. I can't go nowhere. You got to deliver on demand.
They got to be able to have some type of, like, recreational activities for them to do.
Yeah.
Like, in the meantime.
They said they're going to have a little space for them to play around in. It's going to have 2K. Yeah. But that's the thing about the 6 feet monitor, though, bro, because if you get 6 feet, to me, it's going to be beefing. So it's like it's going to be real weird. There's a whole lot of beefing going on. Man. Because you're going to want to be close to your people.
It's grown man doing AAU. That's all it is. It's going to be a grown man AAU tournament.
That's crazy, bro. So they said you get 3 meals a day. You can't really go outside. After your COVID test is lifted, you get an Oura ring like Edgar was just talking about. And then you also get a 6 feet monitor, and it will beep if you get within 6 feet of anybody. So if you get close to anybody, if you close like me and him, beep, 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 beep. You know what I'm saying? They're warning you get away right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we already talked about the ring, bro. So it's a real strict policy that's going on in the bubble. But how do you feel about them going into a place like Florida? We're in Florida right now. They say it's 173% increase in the past couple of weeks. So they're coming into a real danger zone, basically. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, it's like that's the best place to kind of be at the moment because you're either going to pick somewhere really hot or you're going to pick somewhere really cold because the season's going to go into October. Mm-hmm. So by the time it gets into October, you're either going to be somewhere really hot or really cold. Yeah. So I'd rather go somewhere that's really hot because that way you could go, if you're inside already, you're going to be cool the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to going outside being cold and inside being cold, I feel like you have a less likely chance of getting yourself sick, if that makes sense. And
I think the bubble, I know a lot of people are talking junk about the bubble right now because they see us in Florida, but I think the bubble is really going to be the safest place for them, especially with all this testing going on. You get tested every day, Like, hey, now we need to be on it then, bro.
First off,
shouldn't nobody catch COVID.
First off, I don't like that. You know how
I don't like that either.
You know how I
Every
felt
day,
about the NFL trying to test 3 times a week. And
3 times a week, I'm cool with.
And
every day,
the NBA every day. I keep telling people twice a month. Once at the beginning of the month, once at the end of the month. Yeah. That's it. Because what if you got to play? Let's say LA got to play LA on Friday, and then you get tested the first time, don't got it. You tested the second time, don't got it. The day before the game, you get tested. You LeBron James, you get tested. All of a sudden, somehow, somewhere, you got COVID the day before the game. And this is a meaningful game. This is game 7 out of game 8 of the regular season games, and you can't play because the third day out of the 3 days, you actually got positive for COVID.
But I don't think that would happen.
You asymptomatic at that. Like, come on.
But I don't think that should happen, being that everybody should be tested. I think everybody gets tested every day when you first get there. But I think they let up because you're going to have a ring on. So they obviously going to catch the symptoms before you actually play with anybody. So that's going to be the real saver, the ring that they should be wearing. So I don't think they have to test you every day because you got the ring on.
I feel like if you're not showing symptoms, you don't need to be tested. After all of the general testing, when everybody gets there, from that moment, if you're not showing symptoms, you don't need to be tested. If you show any sign of sickness or anything, then get tested. Yeah. But other than
that, the ring gonna tell you everything.
Yeah, but the ring gonna tell you. I feel like they're not gonna 100% fully trust the ring because this is like I don't want to call it a prototype because I'm sure they tested it already, but this is the first true test of the ring. So I know they're not gonna fully rely on the ring for the results.
That's true too. That's true. If you come sneezing by me, boy, with a ring on, but hey,
I will be like, hey, I don't trust the ring.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust the ring right now.
All right, bro, let's move on. So in a recent poll I seen, the Bucks have a 83% chance to win the championship.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that shit.
No Eastern Conference team will win the title.
Yeah, I don't believe that shit at all, bro. I feel just like him, but we got different teams, though. So who has the best team?
I feel like the Lakers, honestly.
Even without Avery.
Yeah, even without Avery.
Avery is a big piece. I don't think people are thinking about that enough, man. Like I said, he's your best perimeter defender, and he's your secondary ball handler. Like, that's a big position that you lost right there, man. You got JR, but it's not replacing Avery Bradley.
I feel like the Lakers just have the best – because first off, like Draymond Green said, you got LeBron James at the end of the day.
That's true.
That alone just puts you in the top 1 or 2 decisions for the title automatically. And then you got AD rested and fully healthy now. Yep. You got Caruso coming back. We know what Caruso can do.
Danny Green.
I trust JR. I trust JR.
I don't.
I trust JR more than other people trusting him. So right now, I feel like JR can be clutch when you need him. Kuzma gonna show everybody that he can still be the.
That's the X factor, bro. Like, that is the X factor.
I feel like they can do it. They can definitely do it. Everybody fully rested and healthy, man. I trust LA to do it for real.
I don't trust the Bucks at all. I don't. It's crazy when I see this poll. Like, and then a lot of people were on this bandwagon throughout the season. They just kept saying Bucks are the favorites. Bucks are the favorites. It's like, what makes you think that? You know what I'm saying? They have the best record, but it's like when you watch the games, it's just like I'm not convinced. Especially after watching the playoffs last season. That's what's holding with me.
Yeah, that
the playoffs. The playoffs of last season. It's just like,
I was like, hey, the Raptors ain't trash, but y'all really let Kawhi just carry the team on y'all.
Exactly,
like
bro.
But I ain't gonna say the Raptors was trash and Kawhi was just the only person on that team doing something. But he was low-key carrying them.
Yeah.
Like the Cavs 2016 team, they wasn't really like just trash, but Bron was definitely carrying that team.
Kyrie was getting off too.
Well, yeah.
Kyrie was getting off too.
I give him that.
But I'm going with the Clippers, man. The Clippers just too deep. Man. If everybody plays for the Clippers are too deep. Man. You got Lou, you got PG, Kawhi, Montrez, Marcus Morris, Zubac. Who else? You got I already said Reggie Jackson. I don't know.
No, you didn't say
Reggie Jackson. Like they just got too many heads, man, that you can go to on that. Just signed Joakim Noah. I know Joakim Noah probably washed, but
I don't trust Joakim.
But
not to be a
that's your bench player.
Not to be a threat.
Yeah, that's a bench player for you. So I think that's solid off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So they're just too deep for me, bro. They really too deep. And I think the Clippers.
LeBron and AD came out with the hype video. I was like, and LeBron got the
gray. I seen that.
LeBron got the gray in his beard like Father Time right now. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trusting that. I'm trusting that. Yeah, don't cut the beard, bro. Keep the gray in your beard for the season. Keep the gray.
The Bucks, man.
All right, keep the gray in the beard, bro.
Yeah, bro, I don't trust the Bucks, man. After last year, I can't trust the Bucks.
I don't trust the Bucks.
If you got the bodies for the Bucks, like the Heat had the bodies for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Because they can throw Bam at you, they can throw Jimmy at you, they can throw Derrick Jones at you, and even more people at you. If you got bodies like them, the 76ers, then you are capable of beating the Bucks.
The Heat are still my dark horse to make the NBA Finals.
Dark horse?
They're still my dark horse.
I don't know if I'm wrong with
I will still stick with Philly as my number one option, like I did before the season to make it. Philly, my number one option, and then Miami is my dark horse.
Yeah. So. It's funny because I know Ben Simmons did not work on his shot this whole month he's been out. But
the videos we low-key seen of him, no three-point inside.
Floaters. Like you got that in your game already, Ben. Shoot a three. God damn. That nigga get me mad. But I still got them. I still got him in the finals though. Just off Embiid alone. But a topic that was brought up on First Take, which was real interesting to me, bro, was the topic of De'Aaron Fox. And Stephen A was saying, could he be the star of the Kings to be successful? Obviously, we know the Kings have been ass since
for a long time. Like
maybe
they had some kind of hope with DeMarcus Cousins, but even then,
it was ass.
Yeah,
fighting for the AC.
Yeah,
they wasn't good since Chris Webber days, like
literally.
The 90s, late 90s. You feel what I'm saying? So white chocolate days. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like they haven't been good in 20 years. So they was talking about is De'Aaron Fox the one to push them over the hump?
Nah, he's not the one to push them over the hump. He's the one to start bringing eyes to the Kings. I'll say that because I like De'Aaron Fox. He's energetic. He has an athleticism to him. He's quick. He plays his position very well at the point, so I feel like he can bring the eyes, but he's not the player to bring them over the hump to be like the Kings can start being successful. They need one more piece to like really get them in that position of where you could say that.
Yeah. The thing about the Kings, man, they're still making terrible free agency decisions, man. They just signed Harrison Barnes to a $20-something million deal.
Why?
Man. You can look up his stats. He's not averaging much. He's getting $24 million. Why? Harrison Barnes ain't good.
Plus, a lot of players ain't trying to go to the Kings.
And that's another thing. They're not an attractive destination.
They're not trying to go there.
You know what I'm saying? But they have young pieces.
But it's in Cali, though.
That's what I think. That's what I think, too, bro. I don't think it's just the fact that you don't want to go to the Kings.
It's Sacktown.
It's the organization, bro.
It has to be the organization.
It's the organization.
Ain't nobody just turning down no Cali team.
It's the organization, bro.
You got the Warriors. You got both LA teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Sacktown, bro. Come on.
It's just the organization, bro. I don't think it's really the team because you got an attractive piece. You got Marvin Bagley. You got Fox. Who they just drafted this year?
I forgot who they drafted.
I
wasn't even paying attention to the Kings during the draft.
Yeah, I forgot who they drafted. Damn, I don't know. I forgot who they drafted. I feel
like it's somebody we know. We just can't remember right now.
They had a top pick.
They did. I'm a search.
Yeah, it's gonna bug me. Yeah, you gotta look it up. It was gonna bug me, bro. I know they had a top pick, but I forgot who they picked. That's definitely gonna bug me. I'm gonna find it. But yeah, man, I think they have the young pieces, man. But they signed Corey Joseph to a $12 million per year deal. They signed Trevor Ariza to a $15 million deal, and then ended up trading him mid-season. And then, like I said, they signed Harrison Barnes to a $24 million deal. It's just like it's too much money going to pieces that's not going to get you over the hump, man. They got to bring in actual veteran stars. Like you can get all the young pieces you want, man, but at least when you bring in the veteran stars, that's when you start getting over the hump. Because you got young pieces like Bagley and Fox.
This is crazy.
They ain't got nobody. They ain't pick nobody.
I didn't see they didn't until pick 40. Ain't no way. Hold on. Good. Go to the next topic.
They didn't draft.
We gonna find.
They maybe didn't draft, but they probably. Do you see from Kings in there?
No, I ain't see from Kings or nothing. The first time I see the word Kings is pick 40. That's the first time I see Kings. Everything before that, you don't see the word Kings at all.
Can't be true.
It can't be. That's why I'm so confused right now.
That's crazy, right? I don't know what's going on, but I think De'Aaron Fox can be that guy. Before we move on, I think De'Aaron Fox can be that guy, man. But they just got to surround him with more pieces, man, because I think he is dynamic enough to get them to a playoffs. It depends on what our definition of successful is.
Right.
If our definition of successful is playoffs, which it should be, 8th seed, I think he can get you to that 8th seed. But you got to surround him with better, and the front office has to make better decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I think if Bagley can play a whole season, because he hasn't played a whole season yet, I think that's somebody who is going to be real key for them. And him and Fox, I think, can be definitely the future for them. Bro.
Yeah, this is really looking like the Kings only had 3 picks in this whole draft.
Word, bro? They didn't pick nobody?
Pick 40 was Justin James. Pick 47, actually, no. They traded pick 47 to the Knicks. And then pick 55, Kyle Guy. The Knicks drafted Kyle Guy, but traded him to the Kings.
Oh, they didn't pick nobody, bro.
And then Pick 60.
Yeah.
Vanja Marinkovic.
They must have traded it, bro.
They traded a lot.
Yeah, they must have traded it, bro.
They only had 2 true picks, and then they had a pick traded to them.
Yeah.
That was it.
Wow. I definitely thought they had a
Wow, we spent like 2 minutes on the Kings.
Yeah.
That didn't need to happen.
Like I said, I still believe in De'Aaron Fox, though. That was a topic that
I believe in him, too. I just don't think he's the player to just set them over the hump yet. I don't think. I think they need 1 or 2 more pieces to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I still think they need pieces, but he is the guy for that team.
Because
Stephen A was saying he doesn't bring that job presence.
Oh, no, he does.
Exactly.
He does.
That's the point that I wanted to hop on because does he have the team around him like a job? And
he may not have the team around him like a job, but he gives me job energy when I watch him.
Exactly. And the athleticism. It screams job.
Yeah.
Both of them really don't have consistent threes in their game right now, and that's something they both need to improve on. But the athleticism, the quickness, the vision,
handles, like all
of that is similar. Both of them were being compared to Westbrook coming out of college. Like, everything is similar, and they have the same type of games, bro. I think Ja's just getting it because he's a rookie and he's obviously being excited right now, and the Kings are the Kings.
And let's transition to Ja for a second. Man, Kendrick Perkins don't really be saying too much dumb stuff, but he said the wildest shit ever the other day. This man said Ja is a mixture. First off, I hate when people overuse this phrase. He's nothing we've ever seen before. We've never seen anything like Ja before. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this man said he's a combination of Westbrook and Kyrie. I was like, whoa, calm down.
Definitely not Kyrie.
Handles are nowhere near Kyrie.
Definitely not Kyrie.
So you can say he's like, so how are you going to say he's a combination of Westbrook and Kyrie, but then say we've never seen anything like this before? Like, that made no sense to me at all. I'm like, you're contradicting yourself with that.
He said somebody else, too. Oh, he said the vision of Rondo.
Yeah, the vision of Rondo. Westbrook, Rondo, and Kyrie. I'm like, what?
I thought that was an overstatement, too, because Rondo vision is crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, you can see the potential for Ja to have that, but to say it's there now, no. Yeah. The only person you can compare Ja to is Westbrook. So the fact that he said we've never seen anything like this before, I was like, damn, so I guess Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose has never existed.
Yeah. Those are the best comparisons for him, man. Like an athletic point guard, but he has vision as well.
Or even an Isaiah Thomas from back in the day, you know.
Way more athleticism.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, as far as athletic point guards and stuff like that.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins be getting wild.
Sometimes I be liking most of what he say, but sometimes that was definitely one of the moments I'm like, you gotta check yourself.
All right, bro. Let's move on to current events, man, to wrap up the podcast. The craziest that we heard about this week, bro, was the August Alsina and Jada Pinkett Smith was running in the headlines.
I seen this coming. Not with August, but I knew this was happening.
Like,
Will and Jada been in an open relationship for the longest. We know this.
We knew that, though.
I think we're more surprised by who this was with as opposed to the fact that it happened.
I think people knew it was an open relationship, but we didn't want to believe it, though. We never seen it on an open. We never seen it publicly, I guess.
I just seen the way Jada and Will talk and the way they act.
I guess I didn't look too close.
I was like, I'm getting. You get the vibe that they really don't give a damn what each other do, but they're together at the same time. Like, don't disrespect my marriage, but do know that we are open. Like, they gave me that time.
But the fact that it was so exposed, it felt like it was exposed by Alsina. It was just like, damn.
This is what Alsina the best stuff at. My dog kissed and told. He should have signed an NDA. They should have made him sign an NDA to where nobody can talk about anything that they do or anything and then legal action has to be taken. But they didn't make him sign no NDA. He went on the interview with Angela Yee from the Breakfast Club. And he told what he told. And then Will came out shortly after and said he was lying, saying he didn't give him his blessing to talk to Jada.
He did not?
Yeah. Will said he didn't give him his blessing.
Word?
Will lying.
I was about to say, Will
lying,
definitely broke because he said he gave him his permission.
Will's just mad that the news is out there now. And then Jada was like, I don't know when the episode gonna come out, but Jada like, we gotta sit at the red table about this. She tweeted that. I was like, oh, we're gonna need all parties. I need Will and I need August. I need all parties there.
It's gonna be crazy.
I don't want to hear just from 1 or 2 people. I need all parties present.
And somebody tried to say on Twitter, bro, they was like, oh, why are they using family drama to get clicks? Like the Kardashians ain't been doing that for years, bro. Like, get out of here, bro.
And then it's people out there saying that Jada took advantage, or Jada and Will, however you want to say it, took advantage of Alsina because the time that they took him in, he was very vulnerable. He was in a bad headspace. But I'm like,
he's still a grown ass man.
But at the end of the day, we don't know the situation. Yeah. So I'm not gonna just completely rule that out. But come on, at the same time, he a grown ass man, bro. and it's Jada Pinkett Smith, and you know Will gonna let it slide. So it's like
he gave you permission. Like I'm not gonna turn that down.
I'm not turning down.
I'm not turning that down, bro.
Jada got that snapper. Yeah. I knew from the 90s Jada had that snapper. Jada got that snapper. I'm telling y'all. I said it then. I said it off the pod. I'm gonna say it on the pod. Jada got that snapper. Bro,
but the fact about Alsina, bro, the way he came into the family as being like a son figure to them.
They got too many family pictures together.
That's what I'm saying. Like him and Jada Smith were best friends at one time. That's how he came into the family. And the fact that he became a son to messing with Jada on that level, bro, is what's so crazy to me, and that's what's messing with my mind, bro. Because it's like, damn, y'all viewed this nigga in such a different way in 5 years.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure Willow and Jada knew. And they most likely. And their brother, I'm pretty sure.
Because you're pretty sure you see that nigga in the house and he not kicking it with me.
I'm pretty sure.
Gotta be kicking it with somebody in the house.
Literally. And it ain't my dad. Because Will be bungee jumping and skydiving.
Inspirational messages.
Will ain't never home, so you know what's going on. Like, come on now.
But we all knew it was an open a relationship. And she even said it on one table talk. She was like, you can be on one side of the house with somebody, you can be on the other. Exactly, bro. It's just like,
as long as we both in the house, yeah, they're definitely talking to other people.
I don't understand that mindset because that's a crazy mindset.
I can't do that. If I'm married to you, I'm selfish.
Exactly, bro. I don't understand that mindset, but that's just how they roll, and I can't really comment on that. But would you do the open? You just said no.
No, I ain't doing that. If I'm married to you, I'm not sharing you, and you're not sharing me. Plain and simple. That's not happening. Bro. We might as well not have got married.
That's true. That's the point I try to get to, bro. What's the point of even getting married, bro? Like we just partners at this point. Maybe it was kids that was tying them in, or some other reason. Edgar was trying to say taxes or something, but I was like
it's a lot of stuff that goes into being married that's a benefit. So I don't know. You never know. People might do it for the legality of it and stuff like that. So.
The looks, maybe. I don't know, bro. But why August Alsina though?
I don't know.
And I just found out that Will Smith was bi. I was hit with so much the past couple of weeks.
I ain't finna say that's true information. That's just Twitter talk. That's just social media talk.
I don't know, bro. You see the video?
I ain't gonna say
that.
Say
what the video said.
I forgot who was giving him the shoulder massage. Jada was saying right. It looked like Jamie Foxx or somebody like that. No, I ain't gonna say Jamie Bob. I'm just saying you know how your dogs just like, play like that or whatever. And then whoever was rubbing his shoulders, he was like, only a man knows a man's touch. And Jada sitting there looking
like crazy as hell.
She looking crazy. I'm like, hey, I ain't finna let that be the say all be off and then Will buy or not. So no, I ain't finna say that.
Yeah, Will.
I'm gonna trust that my dog heterosexual. Now, Will, here's the real question. Who are you doing? That's the question. That's
Who's
the
gonna
question
expose Will?
That's the question I want to know the answer to. Who is Will talking
to? Will probably smart and got them NDAs.
Who is Will talking to? That's what I want to know.
Will got them NDAs, bro. He said, ain't nobody gonna talk on my behalf. I ain't slipping like that.
Ain't no way Jada out here talking to whoever she want to talk to, and then Will ain't talking.
Hold on, Will get busy.
I know Will talking
Will get busy.
Somebody. We're gonna find out. I like you, Will. You my
Will
dog.
got NDA. That's what I'm saying. This is GOAT. His GOAT just let somebody get permission to mess with his wife.
He ain't my GOAT. He top 2, top 3. He ain't my GOAT.
That's a GOAT, man. Just let him get loose with his wife like that, man.
He top 2 with me. Top 2 or 3.
Crazy mentality, bro. I can't. That's a crazy topic, bro. But let's move on to the BET Awards. So, in what I heard, because I didn't watch it the first time around, I did not watch it. I heard it was the best BET Awards ever.
I ain't watch it, and I'm not even for the. I'm automatically saying it.
I watched the encore, and the encore was good. I ain't gonna lie, the encore was good. Like, it kept me entertained. I didn't turn from it. Like, and usually when the BET Awards on, I be tan like for the first 30 minutes.
Could it be the transition? Bro?
Yeah,
that's probably what it is.
They be losing me at the gospel. Every time they get to the gospel, it's like, it says it's time to turn. Nah, Mary get up there singing. I'm like, it's time to move on.
What?
SpongeBob on or something. Somebody on. Mary fire now. But BET Awards, bro, especially when the pace, you know how the pace be, bro. Yeah. It be hip hop, and then just randomly slow down to gospel. Nah, I'll go somewhere else, dog. I'll wait till y'all.
I mean, they may not do a performance, but they gotta at least get an award.
Oh yeah, get an award. But they just slow down so much from that transition, bro. But what I know you said you had some feelings on what the best ones were.
I feel like one of the best ones were the one when James Brown and Michael Jackson were on stage and they gave each other like the capes and all that stuff. That's an automatic one for one of the best BET award shows ever.
That was Chris Brown, bro.
The Chris Brown one when he did the Michael Jackson tribute, that gotta be in your top 3.
Yeah.
If it ain't your number one, it got to be top 3. That is going to go down as one of the best BET Awards ever. Shout out to Jamie Foxx for hosting that award show. He did an amazing job with that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's another one? It was another one that was really good.
For the past 5 years, it really been sleepy, bro.
No, low key 20. It was either 20. I want to say 2018 or 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good one for 2018 or 19.
I don't remember. I really stopped watching because you memorized jits, bro. We used to be excited for the BET Awards.
Yeah.
Like, you used to see the little red carpet jug. It's like, oh, the BET Awards.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I know jits is not feeling the same way we used to about the BET Awards.
The viewership has gone down. And, like, you remember the talk we had about my plan and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We had a talk. Just know in the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to see my name. You're going to see my name on multiple things.
Definitely
I ain't gonna say too much on it. But
are the BET Awards even cool anymore, bro? Should they still be a thing?
They can be, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All these black artists and all these black people watch the Grammys. We hardly walk away with anything there. Same thing with the MTV Awards. Same thing with the Oscars. Same thing with all these other main white stream, white mainstream award shows. We watch those and attend those and barely walk away with anything but our pride. And all of a sudden, y'all don't want to go to the BET Award. The award show specifically made for us. That's the one y'all want to act funny with and not watch.
Because they don't think it has the same pool as a Grammy.
No, honestly, I tell people, I've been saying this for like 5 years now. I put a BET, just me being black alone and me being so culturally proud, I'm putting a BET Award over a Grammy any day. I don't care what these people say. I'm treating my BET Award like a Grammy. You can have 3 Grammys, but I got 5 BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I treat them. Like, and until the artists start treating them like that, like just imagine 1 year when we don't even attend the Grammys, but everybody attends the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just give it that feel of it's important. If you make it feel like it's important, it'll be fun again.
Yeah. But I like the way they had it set up this year, man. It was basically like they were cutting from like the actual award selections, and they had went to like performances. And the performances were like music videos. So like we seen the baby do his little rendition of Pop Star. What song was it? Rockstar. We see his little rendition. He had the little socially
like the first song because he added like an extra 45 seconds to the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like he added an extra 45-second instrumental to the beginning, and he freestyled over that. Yeah. For talking about social justice.
And then the video, a cop had his knee on his neck, so it was real socially conscious. You know what I'm saying? I want to say Meg performed. And just like the flow of the BET Awards, I seen a little bit of the encore. It just looked way better than in previous years.
Lil Wayne did his song Kobe for the Kobe tribute and everything like that.
Don't tell me it was that new version he tried to come out with.
It's not. I listened to it and I watched it.
It was the new one?
Yeah, he mixed the old version with the new version.
I like the old one way better.
No, but if you listen to it, he did good though. He did good. It was. I thought it was gonna be I love Wayne. I thought it was gonna be dang. I hope he don't sound all drugged out and all that stuff and everything. Mm-hmm. Like how he be sounding like real auto-tunish even on stage. He didn't sound like that. He sounded like old Wayne when he had the mic. So I was like, okay then, I like this. I'm liking it. And it showed the Kobe highlights when he was rapping and all that. So, yeah.
And I wonder if they're still gonna keep up with the October. What they do in October? The hip hop award.
I'm pretty sure they might do the same thing with the
hip hop award. So it's like. We still got to show those more love too, because I feel like the hip hop awards are less popular than the BET awards. Like none of those get.
I ain't gonna lie. Hip hop awards for like I'll say for like a 5-6 year period, they had got cooler than the BET awards. But you want to know why the BET hip hop awards ain't popping like that no more? The ciphers are not as good.
That's true. That's true. That's what I was gonna say.
I'm not hating on the new generation of rappers because most of them my age or younger. I'm not trying to hate on y'all. But a lot of y'all don't. Y'all not
freestyling, bro.
Y'all not true to y'all hip hop roots. Like back in the day, you used to have to know how to freestyle, like, or at least write good freestyles and then be able to like powerfully like impact them. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't freestyle like that no more, bro.
You seen that Double XL cypher when it was Uzi, it was Kodak. Oh, they weren't even saying that.
They weren't really saying that much.
Like, bro, what are you doing? It's not even a cipher, my G.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, and people don't really want to watch, like, people who do freestyle battles for real. Like, you know, the battles that you can
battle rappers,
They don't want to watch them because it's like, okay, it's kind of too serious. Like, you want to see people ride.
Them things real. Watch them URLs. Them URL rap battles is real.
Like, those raw, but people want to just see people ride the beat and flow and stuff. Like, I'll say the last era of good BET ciphers was from like all the way up until damn near 2015. That was like ever since they started it all the way to 2015, that was the golden era of ciphers. Like now, ever since 2016 and now, I don't really care for the ciphers like that. It might be one or two ciphers that I really want to watch, but other than that, it ain't nothing.
I remember it was that one California cipher, man. I don't forget what year it was. It might have been 2012, but it was Kendrick in there. And Kendrick
it was all the TDE.
All the TDE. That's what it was. It was all the TDE. Probably one of the best ciphers I've ever seen.
Another one, it was when Chris Brown got everybody back on his side after the Michael Jackson thing. And he was on the BET Hip Hop Awards after that. He was on the cipher with Tyga and Ace Hood and all them. He snapped. Eminem, whenever he do one, he snapped. It was 1 year.
That's what I want to say about Eminem.
And all them, they snapped.
Eminem, much respect, but he need to stop.
What he did?
He need to stop, bro. He need to stop rapping.
Stop rapping.
Yeah, he need to stop rapping, bro. He ain't got the same appeal no more, bro.
Wayne low key don't anymore.
He doesn't, bro. And honestly, it might just be me being born in '98, but I don't know. Eminem's rap style just doesn't get to me, bro. The little herky jerky rap style, it doesn't appeal to me, bro.
Me either, but I still gotta respect the skill.
I respect it.
I respect the skill because ain't nobody standing in the paint for the most part. It's hardly any names you can pull out of a hat and be like, he can snap with Eminem. Like, hardly anybody. So I give him that. One of the most talented, if not the most talented lyricists of all time. So I'll give him that. But I agree with Quincy. I can't really get into Eminem music.
Yeah, man.
Now, early 2000s Eminem, I could do that. I
remember Not Afraid. That's when
Not Afraid, Mockingbird, all his early stuff, like every Superman, like all of that stuff. I rock with all that.
When he was Slim Shady and he was back with what it was, D12? What it was?
Aftermath.
No, he was in a group. It was called D12.
Oh, I don't remember the group he was in. Damn, I thought you was talking about who he was with, because he was with Aftermath with Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and all that.
He with Dr. Dre?
Yeah, because Dr. Dre signed Eminem, and then Eminem got 50.
Yeah, D12 Eminem.
D12. Yeah, see, I only remember him with Slaughterhouse. That's all I remember. Yeah. See, I remember that.
Yeah. So that's
I
all I remember too.
Them like that, though.
I don't forgot his one hit that he had that I currently pop in my head. Might have been My Band. I don't know. But he had some hits with them. That's definitely early 2000s as well. Those are the ones that really pop in my head. But it's just now, he doesn't have that same appeal to me like he used to. But him just bringing up his name just really made me think about that. But yeah, let's move on. So this is the last topic of the pod. Ozark. Egg, you watch Ozark?
I don't even watch it. I heard it snap though. I don't watch Ozark.
Ozark my shit. I ain't know. Ozark my shit. I love Ozark. I love season 3. You know what I'm saying? The end of it, the last season. It was talked about being the last season because a lot of people really wasn't banging with it like that. It didn't have that same steam and popularity like it had when it first started. But they now have a season 4. They renewed it. And I'm excited. It's going to be 14 episodes. They're going to split it in half, like 7 and 7. I'm really excited for it, man. I love Marty Burns because, what's his name? Jason Bateman. He's the star of the show. I love him as an actor, period, bro. Like his acting style. He just directed The Outsider on HBO. So if you got HBO Go, definitely check out The Outsider. I love that show as well. It's like 10 episodes. I love that, man. So his acting and directing style, bro. I just love what he does.
One show I am on, Greenleaf. Shout out. Okay. Shout out to my group chat. You know what I'm saying? Established 2017. Desire, Caleb, Alyssa, Janaya, Corey, Kira, Tiani. Everybody in that group chat. Shout out to all y'all for getting me onto Greenleaf. I fuck with it real heavy. It's basically messy church people.
I know.
I love it.
My mama watch it.
I love it. I love Greenleaf. Yeah. Shout out to Oprah.
I be thinking I want to catch up on Greenleaf, and then I'll be like, nah,
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to catch up on it. I don't know. What's the next show, man? What's the next show we gonna have to pop up, man? No. We ain't did a movie review in a minute. We gotta do
we ain't doing. I ain't been going to the movies.
No, I'm talking about Netflix.
I know, but I'm just going to the movies.
Bro, the Five Bloods is what we need to review.
Oh,
bro.
My dad watched it. I ain't watched it though. He said it was great.
Yeah, so
I gotta watch that.
So our next movie review is probably gonna be The Five Bloods. I heard that movie was great, bro.
Yeah,
so
I heard Spike Lee did the same with that one.
Yeah, it is by Spike Lee. Yep. So that's gonna be our next one review because we ain't had one of those in a minute. Yeah. So we gotta get it back up on those as well. But that is the end of the podcast. We appreciate y'all for listening. It was a little lengthy, but hey, we appreciate y'all. Edgar, hit him with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at Q_N_E_podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page, Q&E Podcast. Don't forget to email us, QANDEpodcast@gmail.com for any questions, inquiries, fan mail, concerns, anything like that. You can follow Quincy on Twitter at Q_Hicks3. You can follow me on Twitter at EdgarMartin97. And you can also follow my Instagram, EdgarMartinOfficial. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell and hit the all button so that way you can see whenever we drop anything. And shout out to MTMB Sports and shout out to Blue Collar Media Group. We are part of both of those platforms. Check out any of the talent on there. There are plenty of people out there just like us, podcasting and doing videos trying to get the sports news out there.
Yes, sir. And also subscribe to all our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, man. Wherever you listen to your podcast, we are there. Subscribe. We would definitely appreciate it, man. We appreciate y'all for listening, man. And we out. Peace.